Hey everyone, I'm talking extremely loudly because our last video that we recorded, half the stuff that I said was like missed. So I'm gonna talk loud. This video going to ignore or annoy. I don't know why I said ignore. My upstairs neighbors, I ignore them too as well. So at like 4 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Stomping.
What was he? That's my thing. Like, what are you doing at 4 o'clock in the morning? You said like all night he was like leaving his house and like going like.
It's on a cell phone. You'd leave, go be away for like a couple minutes, come right back, go inside.
I'm telling you. Go. I think he was fighting with his girlfriend. I think he was like one of those like, I'm coming over there, and she was like, you better not, and he was like, I'm coming over there, and like went over there, and then she was like, don't you come over here, and then he was like, fine, turn around. He did it like 15 times. Women tell you not to do something, but really in reality they want you to do it. Anyhow, what did we were supposed to blog a whole bunch, but like our lives are so
busy.
I'm not gonna say we're busy because we do have ample time to do a lot of stuff. We're so tired that we'd rather sit down and watch TV because it's more fun. Well, not sleep, because we don't fall asleep. Well, I fall asleep at like 9. She falls asleep at like 10.
Not much better.
At least we're not like 7 or 8. That would be like, what? Anywho, so my car was making a funny noise, and I couldn't figure it out, so I went and I did some exploring. I took out my axles, because I have a front-wheel drive car, so it was actually pretty simple. So it was just two. Anyways, so I took out my axles, and it was fine, so I put all that crap back together with one of my friends, and then I drove one of the dudes that I work with to Taco Bell so he can listen to my car because it was still making a noise. Because I never figured it out because I'm a good mechanic and I don't figure out shit. And he's like, oh, that's your ball bearings that's going bad. And I was like, oh. So I went to go, and he's like, oh, ball bearings are like $50. The only thing is you have to press them out or beat them out with a hammer and then beat it back in. Which he's like, oh, it's really hard to do that. So I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I bought the ball bearing, oh, not the ball bearing, but the wheel bearing, and I decided I was going to take it upon myself to jack up my car out in the parking lot, take off the freaking hub, and then go get somebody to press in and out the wheel bearing. And she was out there with me, so it was her first car experience. She got her hands dirty. She was concerned. It was funny.
That's gross.
It's just car dirt.
Greasy.
It's just grease and dirt and dust and animal particles, because I'm pretty sure I ran over a few animals.
Yeah.
They weren't alive. They were just like roadkill. What do you think is on your car?
But I didn't think about it.
Well, it's not like you freaking licked your fingers after you washed your hands with antibacterial soap. But anyways, so yeah. So we struggled for a while. I was like, oh, it's going to take 45 minutes. Whee, we can do this quick. And we struggled for about 2 hours because...
In the dark.
Yeah. Well, we didn't start out in the dark. We started out in the light.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up in the dark. We ended in the dark. But, yeah. So we tried to, like break. I tried to break one of the bolts off, and I couldn't. The brake that was holding my calipers on, and I couldn't because I'm weak. But really, it was just a bad angle. And we gave up, and we struggled a lot. And, yeah, we gave up at about, 8 or 9 last night?
9.
9. And then I got up in the morning, broke the nut that I couldn't break, or the bolt that I couldn't break, and then had to put my shit back together, because I couldn't take the spindle nut off with it just hanging there. Congratulations. So I had to go get a breaker bar, freaking break the spindle nut, blah, blah, blah. Point is, I finally got the hub off after like 3 hours of work. It wasn't really hours of work technically because there was like an hour of it while I was driving. Anyway, so tomorrow somebody's going to press the bearing off and press it back on. We'll press a new one on. Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Courtney got her hands dirty for the first time in the car. She's freaked out because now she thinks she has animal particles on her hands. And tomorrow, the Civic should be fixed. So I can stop driving the Jeep that gets 2 miles to the gallon.
But it's awesome.
Jeep.
Wrangler.
A Jeep. Freaking 2 miles to the gallon.
It's more than that.
17. Max. Do the Jeep thing where people like wave at each other. Because they're so excited to see another person who's as special
it's a
as
secret.
them. It's not like people don't notice that you guys are waving at each other. You guys are like.
I bet people don't. I bet people have never noticed who don't drive a Jeep. A Wrangler. It's only Wranglers. You can't wave at a Jeep Cherokee or
maybe
Liberty.
Maybe two Jeep Liberties wave at each other.
Maybe.
Because they're Jeep Liberties.
Maybe.
You're like excluding the whole Jeep community.
It's a Jeep Wrangler thing. Ask any Jeep person.
Whoever's watching this video who owns a Jeep Wrangler and is waving at other Jeep Wranglers, if you ever see a Jeep Wrangler anywhere in central New Jersey that is green with a black soft top and she's driving it, don't wave at her because she's not a real Jeep person.
Hey!
She's never taken her Jeep four-wheeling. Her Jeep is standard. It's not jacked up. It hasn't even been muddy.
Because I'm short. I can't have a jacked up Jeep.
You haven't even taken it four-wheeling.
Because I don't want to ruin it.
This Jeep is in pristine...
It's been flooded before.
It's in pristine condition.
It's pretty. It's been flooded.
56 miles, 5,600 miles on it.
Pegs, the little, when you take it out and you rinse it out.
It's in pristine condition. I'm pretty sure if she even tried to engage for four-wheel drive...
I know how to do it. Thank you.
It probably wouldn't work because it probably has spider webs on it because she's never used it before. So if you see a green Jeep Cherokee, black soft top, Jeep Wrangler, black soft top, Central New Jersey, with a girl driving it, don't wave at her because she's not a real Jeep person. Just because she owns a Jeep doesn't mean she owns a Jeep. You don't own a Jeep until you go mudding with it.
The second I go mudding with it, it will be ruined.
No, that's the point of the Jeep. So then you spray it off with a fucking hose.
It actually has been. I didn't take it, but Carl took it. Because
Carl's a Jeep guy.
He had to go rescue Philip because he was an idiot and thought he had a Jeep and went four-wheeling in his 4Runner. So technically
they're Jeep guys. You're just a lady with a Jeep. I'm sorry, you're a Jeep lady. She's a Jeeper. It's like having a Civic and not racing it. Which I may have burnt my clutch racing it. But I raced
Exactly.
It had freaking 90,000 miles on it. It was time for the clutch to be changed anyhow. And I did it myself, so there's nobody can bitch about, oh, you burnt your clutch. And I changed it myself, so go off yourself. Anyhow, so we've had a rough couple weeks. Car trouble. Working. Sucks. And, yeah. Busted up my hand. Running. I went running because I run. And I just ate shit. Like, it wasn't even like... It was late at night, and I was in my head, I had my headphones in, it was like this weird, like city parade carnival crap that we don't go to because we're antisocial and we don't really care about Mount Holly. But, yeah, and so, there were people driving by, and I was like, my reflector's belt on, because I thought I was being safe, and it was only a 2-mile run, so I should have been back in, like, freaking, 16 minutes or something like that. And I fucking just ate shit. Fucking braced myself with my hand, the back of my hand, because if you fall, You should brace yourself with the back of your hand. It's fucking genius. Scraped all the skin off the back of my hand. Well, not all of it, just a portion of it. Scraped up my pinky. I got up and I looked at my hand and I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. So I started heading back towards, I started in the same direction I was going, and then I got to where a lamppost was because Mount Holly is dimly lit. So I got to where a lamppost was and I looked at my hand and I was like, oh my god, it was bleeding real bad. So I had to run friggin' half mile back, rinsed it, and then I put some paper towel and I freaking taped it to my hand because we had no band-aids.
And I was at work. Therefore, I could not take care of her.
She left me alone.
And I get a text.
This is what happens when you leave me alone.
Just before I'm leaving. Can you bring home giant band-aids, please? Thanks. Nothing else. I'm like, because she had been working on her car earlier that day, and I left before I saw her again. So I'm just thinking, she's missing fingers. She cut herself cooking.
What would I ask you for just...
I don't know.
Cut my finger off. I need some band-aids.
I don't know.
I'll sew that bitch back on my own.
I don't know.
All I need is a needle and a thread.
Paper towels and a band-aid.
If you weren't out, I probably would have just duct taped it.
Exactly. I'm thinking you cut yourself really bad with something.
I
had no idea what you were doing.
I put Neosporin on it, so it was not like I was being unsanitary about it. I washed it, and if you would have found the alcohol, we would have been alcohol, but we had no alcohol. If we have alcohol, we don't know what happened to alcohol. But I washed it with antibacterial soap, put Neosporin on it, and then I taped it up. What was I supposed to do? Leave an open wound?
No.
Well, there you go. Maybe somebody would have a first aid kit.
I do. I just don't have giant band-aids.
Like Baby Dora the Explorer band-aids. Freaking boo-boo band-aids. This was like a cut. I cut my hand.
Well, normally that doesn't happen. And we have
It happens when you leave me alone. Okay. I injure myself because I'm a child. But anyways, we've had a rough. So I haven't been working out because my hand radiated pain, basically. But yeah. So yeah, that's what we have in blog. We should probably make another video about our real blog. Another short one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna post the long one. She hasn't posted it yet. But her computer's dead now because she has a Mac and her cord got all chewed up. Well, broken in places.
I don't know what happened.
And she hasn't bought a new cord yet.
Because I was waiting on my card.
Yeah, she's waiting on a new debit card.
Someone decided to buy a plane ticket to Seattle with my money, and we had to cancel my card and all that crap. So, it came in.
Yeah. Should buy a fucking cord so you can charge your computer. Mm-hmm. Computer's dead. Anyhow, so yeah. If you want to watch the next video about our blog that we are writing that has 4 posts, then you can. If not, then I don't know. Fucking go live your life. Anyhow. We should tell people to watch our videos so we're not sad losers with 2 views.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Bye.
Bye.